What's up folks, Coach Mark here. So is this you? Do you find yourself rubbing your neck, feeling tightness in your back, in your shoulders? When you stand up, go to pick something up, everything feels a little bit tight. Especially at the moment there, a lot of people, they're just going from sitting at their desk in their house to sitting at the dinner table to sitting on their sofa and just sitting all day, not moving enough, and start getting tight in a lot of different places. So there's many different mobility exercises to help counteract this, but if I had to choose just three, and for somebody who had a desk job, it would be these three exercises. Okay folks, so like I explained, everybody's just the sedentary lifestyle, anyway, but now with the lockdown, a lot of people, like I said, going from sitting at their desk to their dinner table to the sofa, not moving enough. And this sitting position is what ruins everybody, okay? Because you're sitting hunched over on your desk, you're pushing your back up, your shoulders are rolling forward, you're sitting here, getting these tight hip flexors. What happens from here then is we are getting tight here, inside the hip, in the hip flexor, we're overstretching this area across our back, and the same thing goes for the shoulders. Okay, we're getting tight on this section in here on the inside of our shoulders, and we're getting weaker on our thoracic spine, the upper part of our back. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to counterbalance this here. Okay, so we need to focus on stretching the areas that are getting tighter. Okay, stretching these areas as much as we can, and strengthening the areas at the back to help counterbalance the effect that it's having with that tightness. Okay, so we get those shoulders pulled around. The more we sit at our desk, the more we start to get the sort of rounded shoulders. We get nipping pains in here. We get pains in our backs and our shoulders. We get weaker. Okay, and the same thing goes for our hips. When we're sitting down all the time, getting tight here, weaker here, so we start getting pains in our backs coming from our glutes, being weak a lot of the time, and then we get tightness in here. So all the time, it feels like you're walking around like this all of the time. So 3 exercises to help. Number one, the first one we're going to go for is going to be for the hips, and that's to counterbalance the hip flexors, okay, being tight, and that's the couch stretch. So, couch stretch, inner half kneeling position is the basic couch stretch first, okay? So for most people then, for some people, especially with the desk job, even just doing this could be very tight for yourselves, alright? So we're going to work on this and slowly level up, alright? So, couch stretch, half kneeling position like so. From there, you're going to focus on tilting your pelvis under. So what I mean by that is, you want to focus on tilting your pelvis in towards your belly button, okay? Tilting that pelvis under, squeeze the bum on the leg that's down, and then slightly into that stretch. Now for some people, this could be enough, that could be burning, you can feel that stretch all the way down through that hip flexor. If that is you, just work on keeping that for about 30 seconds or so, just squeeze maybe 20 seconds at a time, and relaxing, squeeze again, even raising that arm up to there to level up a little bit more, to get that stretch going all the way down through that hip flexor, okay? If you can handle that okay, if you want to up the game a little bit more, we're going to go then to why it's called a couch stretch, because you can do this with your couch. So you put your foot up on the couch, start off with the knee a good bit away from your sofa or your couch. From there you're going to bring that opposite leg up, and you're going to stay leaning forward first, okay? So slowly from here you're going to work your way up, This can start feeling really, really tight for you. If that is the case, you just want to work to where it feels tight, and just hold that position, like I said, for about 20 to 30 seconds at a time. Work on this each day until eventually you can get up a little bit taller, and tilt that pelvis under, squeeze the bum on the leg that's down, stay up nice and tall, and then level up again for one by reaching that arm up, stretching up without arching your back. Try to keep that pelvis open and the bum squeezed, and just reaching real high to get that stretch all the way down. Eventually then you want to work on coming in as close as you can to that couch or that bench or whatever you're using. Get your knee in as close as you can, so eventually it's almost vertical, and tighten that bench, and up nice and tall, pelvis tilted under, bum squeezing that side, raise that arm up into the air, real tight for some people, eventually working towards that goal. So that is going to be a couch stretch, helping with those hip flexors. Now, the other thing then is our T-spine, okay? So a lot of people, because they're sitting at that desk all day, like I said, shoulders are rolled forward, their thoracic spine mobility isn't great, okay? The upper part of our back isn't great. You might be able to turn too well, your shoulder mobility might be too great whenever you're trying to raise your arms up your shoulder, it's a bit more like this here, rather than sort of nice and tall. So, great exercises to help with that is our Zenith, okay? So a fixed Zenith. So with the Zenith, we got to be bringing our knees a little bit wider than our hips. Sit right back on your heels. Then from there, your left hand is just directly out from about a foot away from the left part of your chest, okay? From there, then we're going to bring the right hand to the back of the head. Now we want to stay sitting back on our heels throughout this movement, okay? Staying on our heels keeps the low part of our spine locked in position. We want to be working on that thoracic spine, that upper part of our back. So this helps us, so we're not cheating pretty much and using that lower part of our back. We're down here. If we're forward, sorry, we're using the whole back. We want to keep that locked in position and rotate that upper part of our back, okay? So hand out from the left part of our chest, right hand to the back of the head. We're going to bring this elbow in, drop the shoulder down, bring it in to touch the inside of the left elbow. And from there, we're going to rotate all the way up. Focus on rotating the upper part of our back, not just lifting the elbow. Like I said, we'll focus on twisting that torso as much as we can. There, exhale, back down, touch the inside. Exhale, rotate as much as you can. So you want to go for about 10 of these on each side. Okay, same again, right hand just like the right rotate. Up, okay? So about 10 of those on each side, okay? Then the next one we want to work on is a pec stretch. A stretch for the pecs. Also a little bit of low back stretching in this exercise, but I want you more focus on, people with a desk job, more focus on stretching open that pec. Like I said, because your shoulders are rolled forward, we want to open that up as much as we can, stretch that out as much as we can. So this exercise then, lie flat on your bellies. We'll start with the right arm, put it out to your side with the palm flat on the hand and the shoulder down. Looking out to the left, you're just going to relax the head and the neck on the ground. And then from there, you're going to bring the left leg over the top of the body, dropping it all the way down. Just relax as much as you can. Now don't worry, it is a good stretch for the low part of your back as well. But I want you to focus more on that stretch across your pec, across your chest, more than anything. So you'll go to that side. Give me 3 big deep breaths. 3 big deep breaths on either side a couple of times, okay? Just to help stretch open that pec as much as you can. Okay, so that's a great exercise for stretching open the pec and to counterbalance the roll of the shoulder forward. Now, it's all good being well, doing these exercises to stretch these areas, but the thing is, what's to stop them, just returning back to where they were again? Because the next day you're just going to be back on your desk again, and the same thing's going to start to happen. So what you need to focus then is strengthening those muscles at the back. So you need to stretch those muscles, the hip flexors, the chest, and things like that, and then strengthen the muscles at the back to help pull them around. So, for example, we need to be doing lots of rowing exercises on our back to pull this out of this roll forward. So if your shoulder is rolled forward, strengthening this area at the back will help pull that shoulder out of that roll. Any pain that you might have had in here, nipping pain, might be caused because of the shoulders rolled forward. This will be a better posture, but also keep you pain-free as well. Okay, so that's any sort of rowing exercises, ring rows, bent over rows, lots of different. I can give you those if you want any of those exercises. Message me and I can help you out with that. Any rowing exercise will help strengthen that area, pull those shoulders out of that rotation, and the same then goes for the hips then, okay? So you're stretching out the hip flexor areas, and you work on the strengthening the glutes areas, the posterior chains, so anything like glute bridges, and hip thrusts on our benches, strengthening anything that strengthens our posterior chain, our deadlifts, kettlebells, swings, anything like that as well, that's going to help strengthen that posterior chain. The strength here that pulls into that nice better posture, shoulders up back. This is ideally where your posture would like to be. Out of that roll, hips nice and straight, pelvis not sort of tight. You'll notice a lot of people that are tight in this area, the bubbles first stick out again, shoulders roll forward. Get a little bit like apes as we get older, okay? So you want to focus on keeping that straight, shoulders locked back. And like I say, any exercises or any questions or any exercises you want me to help you with, just hit me up, message me, I'm here to help. Okay guys, so hopefully this helps. Like I say, any more information you need, hit me up.